What's up, you guys? The Thrift Store Rundown is conducting some delicious business once again with its Fork On The Roadshow. Tasting the tri-state on a budget. This time overlooking the Hudson waterfront in Jersey City. There are many languages of love. One of them can be French, and the other one can be plain English. Probably the most important one would just so happen to be food. All three languages come together for one real cool restaurant and cookbook you'll be talking about in any language. Maman, coffee, bakery, kitchen. Why don't we wish them a big bonjour, Cisco style? Coming up next. Thrifting ain't easy, unless you're watching me. As you can see, this is a family-friendly, laptop-free environment. Open 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily, at least for the kitchen. They really open 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. I just certainly hope it's not a camera-free environment. I didn't bring this in for nothing. It's their official cookbook with recipes to warm your heart from the beloved bakery and cafe. It's co-authored by co-founders, husband and wife Elisa and Benjamin Sormonte, with Lauren Sarkel. Purchased for $10 from Red, White, and Blue in Patterson, published by Clarkson Potter. The recipes are divided into 3 parts. They are as follows: Sunrise, All Day Cafe, and Sweets and Sips, further divided into 9 chapters. 2 for Sunrise, 3 for All Day Cafe, 4 for Sweets and Sips. The book begins with a note from each maman of both authors, some customer testimonials, the faithful maman sharing their hearts about why this place has their heart, an introduction from the co-founders, new parents at the time to baby yes, or baby Vez. Anyway, we also have here an essential equipment guide that you'll want to look up so that you can be well prepared to make these recipes. Many essentials and 4 non-essentials. I think it's time we feed our souls before we get cranky like a few babies that we're hearing right now. Food is one of the ultimate connectors on the world, and one of the ultimate soul soothes. And I have it on good authority that nothing soothes the soul quite like a special French treat, or French-inspired in the case of our first recipe. Creme fraiche pancakes with lemon basil coulis and pecan pretzel crumble, which serves for a fairly involved breakfast, definitely suitable for the weekend. And as you can tell in this photo, if you make it for breakfast in bed, oh yeah, you're definitely winning points. Anyway, as you can tell, the book is sumptuously photographed, and all the recipes do look darn delicious. As far as how the book feels go, well, there's a rustic texture that you can feel on the pages. I think that applies in a very fitting way for a book like this, because as a whole, Maman isn't really that refined. Yes, it's French-inspired, but it's kind of rustic French, which scores extra points with me. You'll find out how many points or claps, really, this book gets at the end. But we move on to Maman's breakfast sandwich with bourbon bacon jam. Oh yeah, that's a brunch item right there. That's one of the components that should make a bunch of the gods. That'll make 2 sandwiches, homemade bourbon bacon jam. We also have here photographs displaying step-by-step instructions, or at least 1 or 2 of the steps for some of the recipe's main components. I mean, if this doesn't inspire you to follow those steps, what else will? Maybe you peek at the next recipe, which is Maman's Rabbit Hole Breakfast Bowl, which serves 4. Rabbits are a theme at Maman. You'll find them on the shelves, in the toilet pattern, on the to-go boxes and cups, and even on the wallpaper. This is a little bit similar to the bowl I'm going to be having later. It's a breakfast bowl, but it's different And you'll see it eventually when the waiter serves it up. Because I bet you anything, they will serve it up as I am doing the review. If you'll excuse me, I need to switch hands here so I can operate this a bit more easily. The book at least, as we move on to a Janus tartine. Egg salad with avocado, watermelon lettuce, pickles and sprouts. That'll make 4 tartines. And you know a tartine, right? Something that's really inspired raw and an open-faced sandwich. I'm highlighting this info for no other reason than to tell you that if you bite into this or any other of the recipes in here or in the Maman in your area and you shout like a certain Janice I know, oh my god! You might have to take a refresher course in French bakery etiquette because that's generally frowned upon. But if you're in love with Maggie Wheeler, so be it. These are Maman's nutty chocolate chip cookies. They're highlighted in here and included in the cookbook and most certainly on the menu here for good reason. They're one of Oprah's favorite things. They made the 2017 list because of their deliciousness and they put Maman on the map as the result. Any edible concoction on Oprah's ultimate favorite things list? Yeah, pay attention. Or not, I mean if you're not on Weight Watchers. Here we have a lavender hot chocolate tart with chocolate shortbread crust. That'll make 1 tart, 14.5 inches. So yeah, you want an alternative treat for your birthday other than chocolate cake? Might want to take that into consideration. That looks a mighty tray bone. One more recipe. This is lavender hot chocolate. It's a favorite flavor at Maman. They adore the taste and aroma. It's also a nod to co-owner Ben's French heritage. It's one of the most iconic drinks, and it's brought them a ton of press and many tourists eager to try it. I sadly won't be one of those, but maybe some other time. I'm just focused on how practical the recipe will be to follow, this among all of them. The ingredient list, how accessible some of the ingredients are, and they're not too bad in terms of accessibility. And how involved you will be in the making of these recipes. Now granted, making your own coulis or buy your own creme fraiche, that takes some effort. Making your own creme fraiche, well, that takes effort and time. But if you're willing to look for it, you can bring the taste of a man home. You can bring their quaintness, their chicness, at least in terms of the recipes, and their visual appeal, which does vary from reader to reader, applicant to applicant. But it should all be the same. Looks like I won the bet. Thanks a lot. That is Papa's breakfast bowl right there. We got here avocado, chipotle aioli. We have here poached egg. We got here caramelized onions and bacon and potatoes. Yeah, that's a healthy breakfast bowl. It could also be a brunch bowl. Why it's not included in here, I don't know. Nevertheless, you can experience the award-winning recipes for cookies, cakes, cheeses, and croissants from Maman, the beloved rustic chic cafe. Gotcha. French cafe culture and urban rustic design come together to create a cookbook as delicious as it is visually inspiring. Would you like to make one of Elisa's famous naked cakes for a special occasion, or roasted chicken sandwich with basil aioli for lunch? Maman welcomes you with open arms. This retails for $30 in the US. Not specified in Canada. Now I gotta say, that looks like one hot Maman of a breakfast bowl. Rustic, yet thick, hearty and filling. How much do we like that? And that does it for Maman, the cookbook, which by the way is French for mom. It gets, really, 4.5 out of 5 claps. The customers are acknowledged in here, but they don't really get a direct thank you. Regardless, they're in the acknowledgement section, so I'll cut them some as their slack. At the end of the day, it's all about the recipes and the charm in them and the stories that the co-owners share. One taste of them, one taste of this, and one taste of this, I presume, and you just might be shouting, "Whoa, Maman, that's good!" Although you probably shouldn't be shouting that out. Nevertheless, the deliciousness rolls on. as our Fork On The Roadshow continues. Stay tuned, stay hungry, sorry for the camera shaking, and many thanks from your semi-formal roadshow renegade. I said semi-formal, didn't I? Who on earth will be the lucky guy or gal? Thanks for tuning in. Just so you know, there's no limit to bringing Hollywood home on a budget. Please go ahead and check out another awesome review like this one by clicking here, and make sure you subscribe by clicking here. Until next time, I'll catch you, as I always do, on the flip side.